Hi, I'm Toby. I'm here to answer your Ask a Black Belt questions. So let's have them. So my martial arts journey started with judo back in 1990, something like that, 1990, 1991. And it was basically just kind of, it was something my family, my uncle thought I should pick up because it was having the background that I have. We lost a lot of our culture, and it was one of the things my family was trying to like replace in me. So I embraced it. It was judo. I loved it. There wasn't any striking, so I didn't have to worry about that. It was all wrestling. It was falling. It was getting up. And then in judo, I met wrestlers, and I guess I was always competitive by nature, and met wrestlers, and I was like, oh God, I don't know what these guys know. And I finally had wrestling available to me. I took wrestling, and then I met jiu-jitsu guys, and then I was like, oh my God, these guys do like, so I started taking jiu-jitsu, and I stayed with the grappling arts for a while, and then when I was in college, I met guys who were like into like the ground fighting, the jiu-jitsu, the no NHB, and I kind of started training with those guys, and that kind of, I started my MMA career in the backyard in Gardena somewhere, you know, hiding from the cops. And then ever since then I liked it, and then I just kind of started training more aspects of fighting. I started my kickboxing training. I started in like 2003 was when I started kickboxing. So then I had judo, then I had wrestling, then I had kickboxing, and I started, training with footlocks in 2003, in 2004. And basically that was it. Like I got my foot in the door, went to the Abu Dhabi, first Abu Dhabi ever in 1998. Met all these fighters and came back to the mainland, and then it was just, I guess I needed the competition. I needed the training. It was something that I grew up with that my life needed. And like that was it. And that's where I am right now. I've actually had people, because all my older friends who fought in MMA are now doing bare knuckle boxing, and I'm like, no guys, I don't want to do that shit. I think I'm done where I'm at. Yeah, I think about it, but I'm like, I don't want to get punched with no fucking, no fuck that. Well, my first grappling was judo, and the Newaza in judo was very controlled and slow paced. And then my second experience with grappling or Newaza was wrestling, which is the complete opposite, which is very intense, very, intense is the word. It was intense. It was nonstop. So I picked up those. I learned how to pace myself, and I learned how to be calm, and I also learned how to turn up the heat and really go hard and just no stopping without air. This was all before my striking, and once striking came into play, then they kind of like changed the speed and tempo of everything, where you had to move fast or else you were to get hit. Jiu-jitsu taught me that sometimes you were going to have to take a few hits in order to improve your position. So yeah, I've learned to take it easy. I've learned to improve my position when needed and take hits when needed, and I also learned not to stay put in order to get hit. So, I mean, I think those are all very important things that you can learn from grappling, and just learning how to apply them. And when to apply them is I guess, the ultimate lesson. My dogs are great. They get me every day. Cuddles every day. I get cuddles every day. Maybe they do get tired of seeing me all day, but then not playing with them the whole day. I think they're great, bonded. Probably the worst thing is not being away from home. You know, like you don't get to leave home for an extended period of time, and then when you come home, the dogs are just dying. They can't like contain themselves, you know. So I kind of miss that. Coming home and having both dogs like almost crying from excitement. But I don't care, man. They're great. I am so lucky to have them. That's going to depend on who you ask. I've faced both. I've faced very technical wrestlers that were not conditioned, and I've met conditioned wrestlers who had zero technique. So it depends where you fall. I would say it depends if you would be able to handle either, be in the right spot to handle both. Be technical enough to handle a guy that's conditioned, and be conditioned enough to handle a technician who's not. That's my experience. I still haven't got to kill anyone with my bare hands. I made a couple of threats, but never had to. At first I thought you were talking about fighters. Valentina or sriracha. I like Mexican food, and I like my Mexican food to taste like Mexican food, so Valentina. I like Asian food, so when I want my Asian food to taste Asian, I like sriracha. If I'm hungover in the mornings, it's whatever best on the pizza. The most valuable life lesson MMA has taught me is, wow, I don't know if there's one. There are a few. A big one of the biggest ones I learned was MMA, competition-wise, it's not a team sport. Yes, the team gets you prepared, the team gets you there, but ultimately, think of it like this, when you're out there in front of a judge or facing the world, it's ultimately you. So, yeah, I learned that. Like, ultimately, it's all gonna fall on me. Like, I can't rely on anybody to back me up. I should be able to at least protect myself and stand on my own 2 feet, no matter what I'm facing. Second big thing I learned from MMA was humility. I learned humility, but not in the physical way. I learned humility in a way where if you're ever set apart from the rest of the world, just know that it's only temporary, that you don't stay there. And everything is going to change. So I also learned change is necessary, and change will happen. So I guess humility in the sense where you must accept and adapt. Yeah, big lessons. And I get used to them. Broken bones, compound fractures, broken teeth. You can see people scalp. Yeah, it grosses me out. I don't think injuries gross me out. I feel empathy. I sympathize. One of the few things that gross me out is probably bugs, like worms. I'm fluent in 2 languages, mostly because they're the ones I use the most. Growing up, I spoke Japanese. I also studied in school, except you don't use it, you lose it. As a teenager, I was picking up a lot of Hawaiian. Just like how jiu-jitsu people pick up Portuguese. I was picking up a lot of Hawaiian slang. Those are the main ones I speak. The rest is I kind of understand some just from being exposed to it, or similarities to Spanish. I love judo because it's one of those sports that there's so many things going on. And to be able to kind of like create them in itself is I don't know, it's beautiful. Physics is beautiful, it's precision. In judo, it's a lot of physics. It's not brute force, but a lot of kinetic energy. So I like the way judo kind of like flows, and then it just kind of magnifies your movements. An incredible sense of balance, explosiveness. There's a lot of discipline involved in judo that I like. I found judo to be one of the most complete martial arts if used the right way. Yeah, there's so many things, man. But those are probably a few of the biggest ones. Well, I guess there's a lot of ways I can go about that. First thing is, okay, everybody likes to be, hey, you know, you're gonna do great, come on, have fun. And yeah, most of the time they do. The other thing I can do is encourage people is, what do you have to be afraid of? I mean, no one has to hate you. Gosh, I would always say, it's just like anything else, man. How do you know if you've never tried it? You gotta try it. So, hopefully most people are, you know, past that, you know, stigma of being afraid of things they don't know. Best way to stay conditioned during class during the downtime is practice. There's no magic, there's no pill, there's no supplement. It's just practice. You want to keep on your speed, you shadow drill. You want to keep up your conditioning, you shadow drill for a long period of time, or you lift weights. You want to maintain your flexibility, you have all the time in the world to stretch. Stretching will be a big thing in this. Yoga's great, you know, you guys could do yoga and like you stretch and strengthen your muscles at the same time. It's a perfect way to not get hurt. Super real important thing to kind of help you out with this training thing, you know, training journey that you have going on. This is kind of like a bump in the road. I tell people when they get hurt, focus on every other aspect that they can use aside from the one that's hurt. So the hurt right now is, the part that would be hurting right now is you having other bodies laying on you and hurting you and, you know, getting you tired. So the best thing you can do is sharpen your technique as much as possible, lessen your wasted movements, and then kind of like just kind of rehearse it so much that you know exactly where to go without even thinking about it. Presently, not a whole lot. People see it and then they bring it up. But when it happened, like, yeah, I guess whenever people would recognize me, they brought it up. So I couldn't tell exactly how much, but it's gone down a lot. I mean, it's old shit. I feel bad for Masvidal because like, people always like keep bringing it up. I'm like, man, that's fucked up. I don't know if I have one proud moment in my career, but I do have several that stand out. And they were basically, you know, every time when I was the underdog or the guy that wasn't supposed to win, I guess beating that, you know, getting through that. The adversary, you know, just getting past it and coming out on top of people being like, whoa, this guy did that. To me, that's it. I never really cared a whole lot about being champion. God, man, I think my whole thing was just wanting to be accepted. Yeah, so I guess every time I gained acceptance from a very, you know, not promising situation that had to do with martial arts, I feel like I guess in a way proved a point or proved something to myself. Wow, that's a good question. Who would I want to fight? Say we're talking about primes. One person I would have wanted to fight in my prime that I never fought, maybe BJ Penn. Yeah, I wanted to fight BJ for a while. He was a top dog back then, so yeah, I wanted to compete against him. See how I fared. Oh, you mean like even like some son of a bitch? Ooh, man. Okay, put it to you that way. Not, it doesn't even have to do with fighting. Okay, historical figures I would want to fight. Damn. Theodore Roosevelt. I'd want to fight that guy. Celebrities I'd want to fight. Jason Momoa. Yeah, I want to fuck his ass up. All you bitches love his ass. He's a cool guy. Just, you know. I just want to say, like, to me, a fight, it's not about anger and violence. So I wouldn't want it to be an ugly fight. Like a fight is like, yay, you know, big tough Theodore Roosevelt, bear hunter, let's get down. And then little me. So just want to close with this, guys. Stay healthy out there. You don't really know what's going on. Just do the best you can. If you're feeling funny, sick maybe, keep to yourselves, wear that face mask. Most of all, don't go into despair. Stay healthy, take care of yourselves. Hold close the people that matter most to you. Do the things you love. Train as much as you can. Don't ever be too afraid or too tired to do anything. Those are weak excuses. Not to sound dark or anything, but you know what? Tomorrow's never promised. Try to put things off more and more. You may never get that chance again. Yeah, these are trying times for everybody. I can't tell you I'm without sadness during this time. It makes me think about my family a lot. No regrets, guys. Don't be afraid. Don't be too tired. Just go. Keep going. Never stop. Do your best.